YouTube, what is going on? Josh here with Second City Kicks, doing another sneaker unboxing, and today I would say this is probably the most limited sneaker that I've reviewed on my channel, hands down, no questions asked. I don't think there's, I don't think there's anything as limited as these at this particular moment that was available to the public. I know these did release in a couple different spots earlier, a couple months ago, but sold out instantaneously, and the hype behind them has been just insane. You know, people are paying thousands of dollars for them. At one point, I believe I read somewhere they were up to $3,500 to $4,000 for these shoes, and I was lucky enough to get them. And as I've told you guys in multiple videos, everybody always asks, Josh, how do you get your shoes? How do you do these pickups? How do you get how many sneakers that are limited? And I've told you guys before, if the apps are available in your area, now when I say the apps, I'm talking about the foot site apps. You have Foot Locker, Finish Line, Foot Locker, Foot Action, and Champs. You have to use those apps to your advantage. Now again, they did start that off here in a beta version in Chicago, in the actual area, and it has spread, I believe, nationwide now. Don't quote me on that. I know it's still available here, obviously, because this is where it started. And I've hit multiple times on Yeezys. I've hit multiple times on Jordans, separate types of Ultra Boosts. So for those of you who are going to ask, how did I pick these up? Use the apps. The second thing is, I can attest to this 100%. Everybody says once you are waitlisted, for those of you that have used the apps, that you're pretty much just waiting on a delayed L. That is not the case. I was waitlisted on these shoes, and then about an hour later I was upgraded from waitlisted to confirmed. I went in, confirmed the shoes, picked these shoes up this morning, and I am super happy with them. They are super crazy looking on in hand and on feet. And I'm super happy that I got them. Now again, I don't know if I'm going to keep these just because of the value of the shoe. Right now is right around $1,200 to $1,300 on StockX. But you guys will have another chance tomorrow if you have the Sneakers app, which is the Nike Sneakers app, SNKRS. You have a second chance to pick these up tomorrow. And I believe these are releasing at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me verify that real quick, and I will show you guys that it's on my phone. And here it is, guys. That is the Air Jordan 1 Off-White, and the whole collection is available. These are going to be releasing here. It says available 11/20. There you go. 11/20 at 2 p.m. So I'm assuming that's 2 p.m. my time. I'm not sure if it's like a draw or if it's first come, first serve. I would think because Nike kind of dropped the ball on the first release that was supposed to be a Chicagoland release only, which was a draw. The system actually crashed because people from outside the city of Chicago were trying to obtain these shoes, and that's what I've read and heard caused the crash of the actual app. So all the shoes that were allocated to Chicago are now going to be available to, I believe, nationwide in the United States. And I don't think this is available in Mexico or Canada. I could be wrong about that. So you're going to have 50 states with a whole bunch of people trying to pick these shoes up. And again, the whole collection minus the Converse Chuck Taylors are not going to be on there because obviously that's a Converse and not a Nike shoe. So, but the other 9 will be. But let's get on to this unboxing here, guys. And again, I am super pumped that I have these, and I will show you the box because the box is a very, very nice touch on the actual shoe. So as you guys can see here, we do not have a regular Jordan box. We have a pretty much, it kind of looks like a paper bag, very minimalistic, and on top it has Jumpman in quotation marks, and that is about it. That is about the only marking other than this, and that is the Off-White in care of Nike. It's the shoebox, Beaverton, Oregon, USA, and I believe the C is circa 2017, so this is when the box came out. Here is the box label. It is not your normal Jordan box, and it is the 10 Air Jordan 1 in a size 13. The retail on these was $190, and with tax, I think it came out to $209 and change because of the tax here in Chicago is just absolutely friggin' insane. But let's get on to the laces that come with these. I'm going to make you guys wait a few minutes to see these shoes. So you have one pair of neon orange laces, kind of matches the hat, maybe a little bit lighter than that. But every pair of these laces say shoelaces in quotation marks. So again, if those of you that don't know the story behind the shoes, the shoe itself is actually a, I can't pronounce it. I know the guy's first name is Virgil. I don't want to butcher his last name. So this is a collaboration of Nike and Virgil Abloh. I'm gonna say that, but it's probably wrong. But so he pretty much took these shoes in this collection. The 10 obviously includes 10 shoes, 9 Nike, 1 Converse, and I believe Nike does own Converse now. So, but again, the Converse will not be released on the sneakers app just because it is a Converse. So he did deconstruct all these shoes and put them back together the way he wanted to, and that is the collection of the shoes. Now, this is by far the most wanted of the 10. The Nike Prestos are probably the second. The Vapor Max and the Air Max 90 and 97 are probably the third and the fourth, or the fourth and the fifth up there. And if you were going to number them, and then you have the Hyperdunk 2017. You have the Blazer. You have the Air Force One, and there's one more, and I don't know what it is, but I'm only concerned with the Jordans, the Hyperdunk 2017, the Air Max 90, the Air Max 97, the Hyperdunk. And the Air Force One are the only ones I'm going for because I'm not really a big fan of the Blazer, and that I just don't like the way the shoe looks. But so yeah, you get 3 sets of laces. So you have the orange, you have the white set of laces here. Again, it says shoelaces. You have the neon green, which again says shoelaces there. And I'm baffled that I was actually able to reserve these shoes. Again, this is a huge come up. So I mean, even if you don't want to keep them, you can always resell them if you get lucky, and I can guarantee you probably about 85 to 90% of people are probably going to do that. And again, as I mentioned before, these shoes did release earlier in the year, right around August, and a lot of rappers, athletes, they got them early, and a couple other people got them. A couple other YouTubers got them. So I mean, they were obtainable back then. The price has come down substantially since then, but I think this price of these shoes are going to go up substantially once again once these release tomorrow on the sneakers app, and then obviously sell out. And I think the market's going to be dry after that. I don't think there's going to be anywhere else that's going to be releasing them. Maybe a couple, private mom and pop shops. And when I say mom and pop, I'm talking, higher end boutiques. So you guys have seen the laces. You guys have seen the box. Let's get on to the shoe. And here it is, guys. The Nike Air Jordan 1 Off-White in the Chicago colorway. Now this shoe, like I said, this shoe is absolutely sick. And as you guys can see, anybody that does have the Air Jordan 1 in the Chicago colorway knows this shoe does not look anything like the ones that were released earlier in the year, and earlier in the previous years. And this shoe is absolutely sick. So I'm gonna do a quick rundown on the shoe here, guys. I'm gonna kind of point out some stuff, and again, if you have any questions or comments, leave those down in the comments below. As I always do say, I'm going to get that out now just in case I do forget to say that later. So, as you guys can see, this is based off the Chicago Jordan 1 colorway. And then, as you guys can see, you have the primarily red upper with white on the toe box, white on the tongue area, white again on the inner part of the foot, where again it is normally white. And then right here it says Off-White for Nike Air Jordan 1 Beaverton, Oregon, USA, circa 1985, which is a very cool touch because those of you that do know these shoes did release originally in 1984. Or I should say Jordan did wear these shoes in 1985. So let's get on to the actual review, guys. So we have a red toe box with a white, and it's not the leather. It's like a mesh, almost like what the tongue is made out of all the Jordan 1s that we've seen with that mesh tongue. The bands, the Royals, those are all like that mesh material. Now it's like the mesh material, but it doesn't have that white cover as like this does. So it's almost like a foam, like the inner part of the actual foam on the tongue. And so that is a very cool touch. Like again, it's been like deconstructed. As you guys can see here, we have the black laces, and these do say shoelaces on them, and I will show you that. So it does say shoelaces on them right there. Again, very cool touch. He likes to put quotations around everything. That is that Virgil Again, I don't want to butcher his last name, so I'm not even going to bother saying it. A couple cool touches on the upper. Again, we have that mesh with the mesh tongue, and then we have where normally it would say, you know, the Nike. Again, it's deconstructed, so he kind of removed the Jordan and put the Nike Air logo or the Nike Air tag sideways on the tongue. So when you're looking at it, again, that won't be sticking out like that. So that's what you'll see. You won't even see that. And again, the tongue is deconstructed. It's an unfinished product pretty much. So it's like a prototype. So you have like the foam kind of sticking out, which is a very cool touch. Now, normally we would have these, you know, stitched in, and as you guys can see from the top right there, you can see all those little holes or indentations. That's where the stitching would normally go on these shoes. There'd be some sort of contrast stitching. As you guys can see, there is none of that. So again, it looks very deconstructed. On the inner part of this flap here, 1985, again, 1985 is the year that Jordan did wear these shoes. There is no leather up here. This is normally like a leather material. This is a mesh. It is unfinished. Very, very cool touch, and that goes all the way around the upper. And as you guys can see on the actual upper of the actual sock liner itself, it is unfinished, so the foam is kind of exposed. Again, a very, very cool touch. So as we go into the side here, and then it's going to be pretty hard to see, but you can see the dots right where the hyphen is on the off-white and where the E ends in Nike. You can see where there's supposed to be a Nike check logo, and that is not on there once again. Now on the laces here, you can see this flap is usually, you know, stitched down, but these are kind of free floating right here, and the laces are run through underneath. So as we go to the back of the shoe, as you guys can see, the upper part of the red is that leather material, but the black behind it is not. It is that nylon mesh material. And then as this carries on from the white, you come around to the back where normally this whole color would match all the way around the shoe. As you guys can see right in the middle, and this is very exaggerated because this is usually not this big. This is usually a small little patch, but again, this is like a prototype. So as you guys can see there, you have the stitching holes with no stitching in it, and then you would have the Nike logo that would normally come all the way around. And as you guys can see, the color of the leather actually changes to a to an off-white. So it's like a cream material. And it's like I said, like an off-white material. We do have the Jumpman or the Air Jordan Wings logo up here, and again we have behind that the 1985, and that is kind of like that's like printed on there, so that will not come off, and it is a rough leather. Normally on an Air Jordan 1, you wouldn't have this rough cut, like it was cut with a pair of like those triangle scissors you used to mess with in high school to have like texture on your cardboard paper. So that is again another thing that is very, very rough on the shoe, and again it makes it look very unfinished. On the side of the shoe, we have a tag that reads "Made in China, Fabrique en China, Hancho en China." So it comes with 3 different languages. I believe that is obviously English, I believe it's French, and I believe it is Spanish. I could be wrong about those. Normally on this side, where as you guys can see, the Nike swoosh is very, very exaggerated. It is absolutely huge, and normally it would start right about in this area, right about here, and then it would extend around. And as you guys can see on the back, where those holes are, right where that blue stitching and that orange stitching is, that's where the Nike check is supposed to go and follow around the back of the shoe, which it doesn't. Again, it gives that very deconstructive look. Now this panel behind the Nike logo, as you guys can see, this Nike check is not stitched on completely. This material is normally a leather, and it is the same material as the toe box, so it's like that. It's like the foam in the tongue, but it's not covered, so it's very rough looking, and I'm trying to get as best I can. There you go, you guys can kind of see that. So it's like I said, kind of like a foam cotton material. I'm not sure exactly what it is, so it's very hard for me to see. But as I said, this Nike check is very over exaggerated, and as you guys can see with the blue, it's kind of like this is going to be a temporary fix where we're just going to kind of mock this shoe up, and we're going to try to see what it looks like. And again, a very, very nice touch. When Virgil was told about the type of, you know, the the cushioning system in this shoe. They said there was a Zoom Air unit in the bottom, and Zoom Air, that's why air is in quotations here, because it's stating that there is a Zoom Air unit inside the midsole itself. Now the midsole itself is again an off-white color. As you guys can see, it's not that bright white like it normally is. It is that off-white. And then the most simplistic part of this entire shoe is the Air Jordan 1 bottom in that red. You have the Nike logo on there, and they didn't really change anything on the bottom or the sole of this shoe. So that is pretty much the only part of this shoe that would be like the norm of the Air Jordan line itself. So again, very happy to get these. And one other thing that I want to kind of point out, I don't know how well the texture is going to show up there. As you guys can see, underneath in this area right here, where my finger is right here, this is usually like a flat, like leather, like it is up here in this area, and it kind of looks like it's rough. And I don't know if it's leather or if it's like, it kind of looks like that tape that you have, but it's not tape for sure. It's definitely not tape. It's some sort of leather or plastic material, and as you guys can see, it's very distressed. Looks like it's cracking and stuff like that. So a very, very cool touch. And then on the inside you have the off-white labeling, and I know that's going to be kind of hard to see. It's like an X with 4 arrows in it. I know, I apologize for that, but it is very, 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 very dark on there. But yeah, I am super pumped to have these. Again, the resale value is absolutely obscene on these, and I'm not sure that I want to keep these just due to the fact that I will probably never wear them, just due to the fact that they are $1,000, $1,200 plus shoe, and I can't see myself taking these out and wearing them out on a regular basis and not having an issue, because this is like carrying $1,000 in your hand, and I'm not really into doing that. The one other thing that I want to point out that's on the other shoe that it only comes on the one shoe is it's like this zip tie. Now there's a couple different ways you can get this off, and there is also a label on here, and I will try to show you that. There you go. Off-white, in care of Nike circa 2017, and then zip tie in parentheses there. And this is a very hard plastic. This is almost like the type of zip tie that you would like shut down like an 18-wheeler and zip tie the latch shut. So it is very thick. It is just kind of wrapped around the actual lace, so there's no need to cut it. Now I know there are some other ones that are kind of like put through the lace loop. If this was through the lace loop, you would have to cut this off. So you can just remove the lace and then obviously feed this through the lace. But I'm still super pumped that I even received these shoes, and I was able to get them from the Nike or from Foot Action on the actual draw or on the Confirmed app, which is just absolutely insane. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about these shoes right here, guys, leave those down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer any questions that you guys do have about these. Again, I am going to do an on foot, and you guys will see what these look like on feet. I'm just going to leave them very minimalistic. I'm not going to do anything crazy with them. So, but again, any questions, comments, concerns, leave those down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys enjoyed the shoes, if you guys enjoyed me, if you guys enjoyed the review of these shoes right here, guys, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe, hit that like button. I am moving up a little bit faster than I was before. I'm at just over about 1,050. You know, I want to build this channel on honest reviews, as I've told you guys multiple times, and you know, I feel that I'm doing that. I get a lot of positive feedback on my in my comments below. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys that come through, check out this channel, hit that subscribe, hit that like button for me. It goes a long way for me. Helps bring a little bit more money into this channel. On a side note, guys, I am going to leave a link down in the description. It's Teddy actually posted that a gentleman was stabbed to death protecting his son who was being robbed for shoes. So they set up a GoFundMe page, and I will leave a link for that down below, guys. Donate whatever you guys can donate. Again, this is a sneaker cult. You know, a sneaker culture it should be like family. I understand there is a lot of money involved sometimes, but I mean, stealing shoes from a kid and then murdering the guy that that's trying to protect his son. I think that's a real dick move. And there's a special place in hell for each and every one of you people that want to rob somebody for a pair of shoes. You know what? Go out and get a job, pay for their shoes yourself. If you don't get the shoes, guess what? On to the next pair. There's many pairs that come out, guys. It's completely insane to think a young man lost his life protecting his son who was being robbed over a pair of gym shoes. Again, there was a special place in hell for people like that decide to break the law, rob somebody for a pair of gym shoes, okay, that you could easily just go out and work, save up the money, and possibly get it. And if you don't, move on to the next pair, okay? And I'm being serious. I mean, that's completely insane. So, again, I'm going to leave a link down below to the GoFundMe page. I want you guys, my subscribers, again, it's Teddy's done it. A couple other people have done it. Easy Mafia has mentioned it. I want you guys to donate whatever you can donate. If it's $1, if it's 50 cents, if it's $5, if it's $10. They're just trying to cover the funeral costs for this gentleman who lost his life over something as simple as a pair of shoes. So stay tuned for an On Foot, guys. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you. If I don't see you guys before Thanksgiving, which I hope I do, I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. And again, God bless you guys, and stay tuned for the On Foot. I'll see you guys later. Thanks.